Good?
Yeah, no, it is.
Start whenever you want.
Should I click it or is it going?
That's fine. Okay. Wait, do you see the thing going in the corner?
Yeah. Hey everybody, welcome to our STEAM lesson for this week. Thank you for opening up the video. And we're going to get started. It's a fun one. We are going to make oobleck. Oobleck is kind of like slime. It is like a solid, I don't know if you can see it, but when you pick it up, then it turns back into a liquid. It's very cool. Oobleck, the reason we're calling it that is there's a story called Bartholomew in the oobleck. And if you click on the link that's down below here, you can listen to that story. It's a really cool story. If we were here at the Pittsburgh Project, I would definitely read it to you, but we're not. So why don't you go ahead and pause this video and listen to the story, and then join me again and we'll make our own oobleck. All right. Welcome back. Hope you enjoyed the story. Before we get started, I want to cover a couple things. Number one, this could be a messy project. So talk to your parents. Ask them, hey, I'm going to make some slime. Where can I do that? My suggestion would be to ask them, can you use a space by a sink, either the bathroom or the kitchen? And also be prepared to clean up afterwards. Okay? Be a helper. Don't leave a giant mess for your parents to clean up. Now, the things you're going to want, that you're going to need for this project. You're going to need this bag of cornstarch. You're going to need a spoon. You're going to need your measuring cup. You're going to need a bowl, some food coloring, and some water, a way to get water, okay? Oh, and the other thing I'm going to point out to you is this food coloring will stain. I was wearing a sweatshirt that I liked before I started making this video, and I took it off because I didn't want to get food coloring on my sweatshirt and stain it and ruin it. So if you're wearing clothes that you like, go change. And like I said, make sure you talk to your parents. You shouldn't be doing this on any furniture or rugs or anything like that, because if you spill it, it will stain it. So make sure you ask where you can use it. Also, there should be a piece of poster board in with your supplies. You can put that down to work on top of to help limit the mess. You can just wrap it up and throw it away at the end if you want. Okay? All right. So oobleck is a suspension. And that's a big word. And I'm going to give you another big word. It's a non-Newtonian liquid. I know that's a huge word, but what that means is that it doesn't act like other liquids. Newtonian means it refers to Isaac Newton, who's a very famous scientist. Isaac Newton developed a lot of the laws of science that we go by, laws of motion, things like that. And he defined what a liquid is. And most liquids would act like water. Like if you squeeze water, if you hit water hard, it always acts the same. But oobleck is different. When you put pressure on it, it changes. Sometimes it's like a liquid, and sometimes it's like a solid. So it's a non-Newtonian substance. I want you guys to try to remember that word. We might talk about it in a future lesson.
All right, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to get our cornstarch. Okay? So take your spoon, your cornstarch, and your measuring cup, and we'll start with about a half a cup. The way you figure that out is you look here. You have ounces, you have cups, you have milliliters. Okay, we're going to use cups. We're going to go to a quarter cup, a third a cup, half a cup right there. Okay, so we're going to fill it up to that line. And now you should have more cornstarch than that, because it's not exact. Once we put the water in, we're going to have to probably adjust it a little bit, put more in, more cornstarch or more water. So I gave you a little bit of extra. We're just going to fill it up to that line, to that half a cup line. Okay, there we go. That should work. Take that. I dump it in here. Now, I'm going to take this cup. I'm going to fill it up. Actually, I'm sorry. You want to go up a little bit more than that. You want to go up to 3/4 of the cup. So I'm going to do an extra quarter. So when you do yours, you'll do yours up to there. So it says 3/4, 3/4 of a cup. Okay? So I'm going to take mine up a little bit more so that we'll be starting with the same amount. Okay, so you pour it in there, in the bowl. Try not to spill it as much as I did. And then you take your cup and you fill it up to the half cup mark with water. Okay? So I have my cup, half cup. And then we're going to start mixing. Pouring it in. And I poured in about half of the water I have, and I'm going to mix. The best way to mix is with your hands, which is why I said you should be by the sink. So you can keep washing your hands as you go if you need to. It's starting to mix in there. This actually might be pretty good. I might hit it right exactly, right from the first one, which would be amazing. And hopefully you did the same amounts that I did and you're getting the same results because this is looking pretty good. So like it feels solid, but when I pick it up, it turns back into a liquid. Let's see, let's get it in my hand here and see. So I pick it up, it's like feels like a solid ball in my hand, and when I squeeze it, it turns into a liquid. So that's exactly what I wanted. So hopefully you have pretty much that. If yours is real watery and it won't all mix in, you have a bunch of like a puddle in your bowl, put some more cornstarch in there and mix it. If it's solid and it's not turning into a liquid at all yet, then go ahead and mix in some more water, okay? But for me, it was, the magic number here was 3/4 cup of cornstarch and about 1/4 cup of water, okay? Now I want to color mine. You can leave yours white like this if you want. Or you can color it. Take your food coloring and just put some drops in. Okay, so you can see I put 3, 6, like 9 drops in there. Then I'll take my fingers and I'm gonna mix it up, mix it through there. Mine's red, everyone's gonna have a different color. Like I said, be very careful with the food coloring. The food coloring is where you could get yourself into trouble, making a giant mess that you cannot fix. All right? Be careful with your bowl. I almost broke my bowl there. Okay, but as you can see, my oobleck is turning out pretty good. It's like a solid, it's like a liquid, and because it doesn't fit into the rules of is it a solid or is it a liquid, it is a non-Newtonian substance. Cool. Hope you guys can remember that. I hope your oobleck works out good and you have fun with it. I'm going to keep playing with mine. And as always, if you can sign into one of the meetings next week, make sure you let us know about it. Oh, one more thing. When you store this, just talk to your parents about if you can keep it or not. And if you can keep it, put it into an airtight container, a Ziploc bag, a Tupperware. And that should be the best way to keep it. If it separates, you should be able to, like, separates means that like the water and the cornstarch come apart again. You should be able to mix it back up and turn it back into oobleck. It won't last forever, but it should last a little while. But like I said, talk to your parents and only play with it where they tell you to, because if you look at my hands, they're turning pink, it will stain things, okay? So be careful and have fun. Talk to you later.